Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. My name's Adam. Another episode of S&S for you. Okay, so this week we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the coolant pump rebuild for the Monarch lathe. So you know, I've got it ready, got it back together, and the last stage after this will be to reinstall it back on the lathe and get it hooked up. So that's probably going to be next week or so. We'll see how it goes. We've got some viewer mail to show you. We've got one box that came in this week, so we'll pull that over and check it out. Something really cool. And I've also got Starrett indicator to talk about, show you, and a couple more tools that I'm going to pull over here, and we're going to look at pretty close and talk about it a little bit. And I believe that's going to be about it for the content this week. I did want to point out that last Saturday night, my AC finally went out. the window unit. That was a used window unit that Fernando had given me. It was one that he had picked up for free, and he got it working, and he gave it to me. You know, those things are pretty expensive, so he was trying to save me a little money there. So that one, the compressor's not working anymore. The fan works, but the compressor won't work. So I'm without an AC right now, and it's still a little bit hot and muggy. We're actually expecting some cooler weather here this coming weekend. Friday night, I think front's supposed to move through, and it's going to start cooling down. But anyway, it's getting really close to that time where I'm not going to need it, but we're going to see about getting this one fixed anyway, so and have it working. So anyway, I thought I'd share it with you. I'm probably gleaming a little bit right now because it is kind of hot and muggy. But so anyway, that's going to be about it. Coolant pump, some viewer mail, and talk about some Starrett tools. So we'll get on to the content. Okay, thanks guys. All right guys, here's our viewer appreciation mail of the week, and this was sent to me from Mark Donahue, and he's from Las Vegas, Nevada. Another package from Las Vegas. And we got a book here. He had emailed me and said that he had found a book that he thought I might like, and asked me that I want it. And this is the New Encyclopedia of Machine Shop Practice by George W. Barnwell. And it's actually a very old book, and it's in great shape. And now I've thumbed through this one time when I got it. I got it this week, and it's a neat book. There's a little note that he left me, just thanking me for the videos and telling me this is the book that he said he was going to send me. But it's a very cool book, and I look forward to looking through it. Now, it's got a lot of the same content that you'll find in a lot of the other books that we've already talked about and the other guys have talked about. But as always, you'll always find other things that are more interesting in one book than in the other book. Pictures, that's another thing there. That's a big old press right there. That on that very first page, a punch press at the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company. So this one is copyright 1941. So it is very old. This was back in the war days when this one was printed. And you know, we start with bench work, and you go through the lathe, all the different operations of the lathe, milling, gears, jigs, heat treatment, welding. You got forge, foundry, measuring, and machine drawing. So a lot of cool stuff in here, and I'm looking forward. I'm actually going to take this inside, and whenever I'm sitting in my chair in the evening chilling, I'm going to go through this book and see what I can find in here. It's going to be an interesting read. So, Mark, thank you for the book. I really appreciate it. And this is going to go great with the collection I've already got. And I'm going to enjoy having this. So thank you a lot for sending it to me. I really appreciate it. Got something very cool I want to share with you. I recently sent this dial indicator off the Starrett to have it repaired. This is another one of the Starrett indicators that belonged to my granddad that I wanted to have fixed so that I can put it back in service and use it. And it is one of the, it's the 25-131 indicators. This is a repurposed box here. This was not the original box, but it's an extra one that I had, and I'm the one that scratched it out and put the 131 on there. So I just got this back today, and I was very excited about it. Now let's take a look at this thing. It looks like a brand new indicator now. This is the half 1,000 readings, and it'll cover a 1/8 range. And one of the things that I had made sure of was that they did not replace this lug back, and you can see why. It's got my granddad's initials in there, JAB. So I had put a note in there to make sure that they did not replace this, because I haven't actually talked to anybody at Starrett about, you know, what they did for the repair. So what all they have replaced here, I don't know. You know, looking at this thing, it looks brand new, except for the lug back. You can tell this is older right here. So, you know, it's almost like they just took the lug back off of mine and put it on a brand new one. But what they did, I really don't know. I do know that most of it's brand new, because on the one I sent out, this the body part of it right here had some pretty good nicks in it. You know, just little bruises from being used, and everything on it looks brand new. But it works beautifully. Got a nice feel to it. So, you know, I'm happy to have this indicator back and be able to use this now. So now I've got a 10th reading indicator that was also my granddad's. I had fixed. That was done by Long Island Indicator Service, and then this one was done by Starrett. This is your half 1,000 readings. And they put these little cards in there. This is for their repair department, and this tells you that they set it at the 9 o'clock position so that you can zero it. You know, a preload, you can zero it at 12 o'clock. And this Jessica N is the one that inspected it to make sure that I've inspected this tool to requirements designed to protect our work and reputation. Jessica N, Starrett tool, LS Starrett Company. This tool is American made. So pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. This is the first time I've ever had Starrett repair one of my Starrett tools, and I'm very pleased with the service. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I do have some before pictures that I took of this before I sent it out. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those up there on the screen so you can see it. And the first one there, you can see exactly what kind of condition this thing was in before I sent it out. The needle was off, it was missing the crystal, and the I forget what you call that part on the back where the numbers are. I can't think of the proper term, but you know, I always want to say template, but you know, the numbers, you can see how dirty they are. And on that picture there, you can see the damage on the side of the body of it. And then again, there's a lug back with my granddad's initials in it. So, another happy customer. I do have a couple more of these that I would eventually like to send out and also get repaired. So I look forward to that. I've got some other indicators that I'd like to fix also. Got a couple Federals, and you know, just I got a good mix and match of indicators around here that do need repair. So give Starrett a shot. If you got some old indicators that you want to have fixed up, send one out to them, and I think you'll be happy with their service. I know that I am. I feel like that I pretty much have a brand new indicator in front of me now. And as far as cost goes, it's not really too bad. I mean, you're going to spend more than half of what a new indicator costs. This new indicator, this one right here, lists for $144 brand new. So you're gonna pay probably around the $90 to $100 range to get an indicator fixed. And that's including the shipping out there and the shipping back and that kind of stuff. So, and it probably just depends on the model too. So anyway, there we go. There's the refurbished number 25-131 Starrett dial indicator. Alright guys, I've got a couple tools here that I want to spend just a couple minutes talking about. There's a couple things that I want to show you. Some newer tools. It's a different brand that I don't think many people have seen, or maybe haven't seen in the books or heard of. You know, I think all of us are always looking for a good deal on a tool, especially whenever we're wanting to buy something new. Can't always afford a name like Starrett or Mitutoyo or Brown & Sharp, something like that. So, you know, oftentimes we look for the better quality import brands. So what I have here is a couple things that is what I think is one of the better quality measuring tools that is imported from China. That's this brand here, Insize. This is a brand new 1-inch travel dial indicator, and this is not for me. I actually bought this for my cousin Alex, and we're going to pull it out and show it to you. And then this right here is a brand new 12-inch digital caliper, and this is not mine either. This belongs to work, and a couple of the guys just got some of these, and I wanted to bring one of them home just to put on video and share with you. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll bring the camera around here and we'll give a little better shot at this. But as far as the indicator goes, I bought this for my cousin. He messaged me the other day and said that he was wanting to buy a dial indicator for setting up his rear end. He's like a mechanic. I mean, he's done mechanic work as a trade, and he got out of it, but he does it for himself now, you know, as like a hobby. But he said he was looking for a dial indicator, didn't know what to buy, and asked me what he should get. And I said, well, I mean, it really depends on what you want to spend. You know, you can start with an economy line, something from Harbor Freight for probably 15 bucks. You can get a mid-grade dial indicator for probably 40 or 50 bucks, you know, or you can go all out and buy something like a Starrett, you know, spend $100 or more on one. So he's not going to use it very often, so why not just get something on the lower end? I mean, and they work good. I use them myself. I have the new Starrett, so that's why you see me use those. So let's pull this out and open up the digital calipers here and take a look at them, okay? So we'll start with the dial indicator, and as you can see from the box, I mean, they put a pretty good effort into this stuff right here. Insize precision measurement, and that's just a picture of, they have a catalog with all of your normal machinist type tools and measuring tools. So we'll go ahead and open this up. And the other cool thing about Insize is that they supply a lot of these things in these really nice plastic case. Got a lever there that you flip and open it up. Alright, so they all come with their little certificates in here. And so here's the dial indicator, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this bag open because I know whenever Alex gets here, he's coming in this week, by the way, and I'm going to give it to him when he gets here, and he's going to want to look at it anyways. So we'll go ahead and just cut this open and pull it out. That's not a bad dial indicator at all, guys. When you're talking about the you know, the economy line of brand tools that all of us have. All right, they got it clocked where you can set your 0 at 12 o'clock. Got the clamp there for your bezel. It feels nice. It's got a good feel, man. Nothing wrong with this at all. So I think this will work. This will work for Alex, and you know, for anybody that's in the market for a dial indicator. But Insize is a brand that we sell at work. You know, down at my workplace, this is a brand that they sell, so I can get pretty much anything that they have. And one of the nice things about, you know, where I work is that we get a discount there. So whatever they sell, we get a discount on it. So I can buy any of these tools, and you know, and pay a pretty good price for them. This one right here, I didn't even look to see what this 1-inch indicator costs new, but I imagine it's going to be somewhere in the $30 to $40 range. So that's it right there. Okay, the Insize 1-inch dial indicator, and I'll put all this back before I give it to Alex there. But let's just move this aside, and let's check out the 12-inch digital calipers. They come in a nice case, just like the indicator. And I was playing with these things earlier, and these things are excellent, man. All right, so you got your calibration certificates, and you know, what have you, serial number book. So it's actually it's a good quality tool. You know where it comes from, so based on where this is imported from, this is actually a good quality tool right here. I really like these things, man. They look kind of like a Mitutoyo in design. Even the even the Starretts at work. I have the 8 and 12-inch Starretts digital. I think it's the 798s maybe, but not a bad tool right here. And they have a good feel. They have the automatic shut off. Like I said, these are brand new. I think the guys at work might have used them once or twice because we just got them yesterday. But they have a good solid feel to them. I think I'm going to buy me one of these for the shop here because I don't have any 12-inch digital calipers, and this one isn't that much. I know I can get this one for like around 80 bucks or so. So I don't know how much they actually cost, but I think I might get me one of these and put it in the shop. So anyway, another brand to keep an eye out for is Insize when you're looking for some of the cheaper, not Starrett line of tools. You know, a less expensive type of tool is this Insize here. And one of the guys at work actually has one of the Noga type indicator holders and the 1-inch dial indicator, and he likes it. He's been using it for a few years, and it's worked out really good for him. So anyway, check out Insize if you're interested or curious about that. And I'm just trying. I have no affiliation with this. I'm not trying to get anything out of this. I'm just trying to share another tool with you guys because we all love tools, and that's all this is about. Is just another brand that you really don't hear or see much about. So check them out. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back on the coolant pump project for the Monarch lathe. I've been getting everything in order and ready to put this thing back together. I did find a new seal, and we had to do a little bit of lapping, and I'm going to pull that out and show it to you. But once I tore the thing down, as you've already seen in the other video, I wasn't quite sure about the seal. It was a mechanical seal. It turned out it was a ceramic type seal. So I was able to get with we've got a local company here that is they specialize in pump rebuilds and also mechanical seals and finding hard hard to find parts really, and this is a pretty old pump. So he came by and seen me, and this was the old seal here that you've already seen. You know, you got a spring, and then there was a couple O-rings, and then we had the ceramic face that seals on there, which I had accidentally broke in the process, but that was part of it right there. And this was actually had a lot of wear on it. So out with the old, and what he had done is, I'll go ahead and back up and show you what we got here, because I don't think I touched on this in the other video. Okay, so this is the housing here, and you see I blasted it, and I put some red insulating paint on the inside and just put some gray spray paint to clean it up. Okay, this piece here, this is your seal face, and then this register on here is what bolts down inside of the housing here, like that. It goes on the inside. Okay, so I removed that, and what they had done was they hit this on the surface grinder, and then they did some hand lapping on it. So we've got a really nice smooth surface there for our new seal. Okay, and this is going to be our new seal right here, and it's very close to what I've got. It's not exact. The old seal, the spring sits in this groove on the impeller, and the spring connects to the back of the seal. And he says he couldn't find this exact type of seal anymore, but we've got something very close that'll do just as good. So let's pull it out and take a look at it. Okay, so this is our new seal here. It will sit just like so. This is your ceramic face. That's going to butt up to this seal plate here and run, and that's going to create our seal around the shaft. And it will just push against the impeller here, just like that. That'll keep the tension on it, and that'll work just fine. Okay, one other thing that we're going to have to do is I brought some, we got a gasket shop at work, and I grabbed a couple of drops in the scrap pile of some of this vegetable oil gasket paper. I went ahead and punched me 2 little holes here, because what I need to do is make a little gasket for this seal plate. I went ahead and punched me a couple holes there to where I can cut me out a seal, a gasket for this. And then we've also got enough here that I need to make a gasket for the pump housing also. We'll have a gasket on this face here. So I got enough paper that we'll cut us out a gasket. And I'm just going to do the old school ball peen hammer method. So we'll show you that, and hopefully get this pump back together. I'm looking really forward to having this thing working like it's supposed to be, and back on the machine and able to use it. Now, I did mention in my other video that I've got to replace the hoses. As you've seen, they're in terrible condition. I didn't have any hose at work the right size, so I'm going to have to actually measure up what I need. I need to pull those off, and I need to measure up how much I need. I'm going to have to order a piece of it. So we'll get the pump put back together, and then whenever I get the hoses, you know, we'll hook the new hoses up to the machine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the gasket out for this little seal plate, and I've got it. I'm going to just go ahead and trace it out with my knife. I've got it lined up with the hole, so I think this will, hopefully if my knife's sharp enough, they'll just kind of cut us out a nice little gasket here. Keep that sucker from moving on me. Still not get all the way through there. Okay, there we go. Alright, that'll work. Now I've just got to cut the 2 holes out for the bolts. And then that will be ready. Alright, next up is the housing for the impeller here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to lay it upside down, and we'll just cut us out a solid circle out of it, and then we'll flip it over and cut out the inside. Let's see how this will work out for me here. Okay, try to get this side over here. All right. Okay, we can lay that. Lay that on there, and we'll get it tacked down with something. We'll come in here and knock out the center. Alright, I'm ready to cut the center out, and the little holes also. I put me just a tiny bit of grease up here to help hold this in place. Alright, I'm going to use one of my small ball peen hammers. This is a plumb. And what I'm going to do, I want to feel that edge on the inside there. I want to go around tapping that edge until it actually starts cutting it, like so. You just keep tapping it, and it'll eventually just cut through there. And I'm not hitting it hard, I'm just very light taps on that edge. There it is. Right. We got a nice gasket that fits good there. So I'm also going to try to get the bolt holes. Just kind of feel where it's at there, and just come in with the ball peen side. Alright, and just let that thing cut it. I'll need to get something to kind of poke it. There we go. Tap work. Alright guys, there we have it. This gasket's ready to bolt on. Alright, now we just got to do the two holes in the seal plate. Okay, first thing I'm going to start with is go ahead and get this seal plate bolted in. And I already ran a tap through the holes to make sure that they were cleaned out well. And I went ahead and blasted all of the bolts. I just got through doing that. Kind of cleaned all of them up. Okay. Alright, that's in. There's a sealing surface down in the bottom. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this thing bolted onto the motor now. What I'm doing is I'm running a tap in the holes. These are 5/16, 18. And I'm just running a tap in there to clean the holes out, remove any rust or dust or anything like that that's in the holes. Using the Typhoon with the needle on it. Okay. So I wanted to point out too that we're going to use the motor like it is. I talked to my buddy at the motor shop and asked him, should I bring this in to have him check it out? And he asked me how it sounded and how it felt. And this thing spins nice, and I don't hear any sound coming out of it. So he said that it's probably good, and just go ahead and run it. It's never given me a problem. It was just a seal. So I think we got a good motor, and we're just going to go ahead and put it back together like it is. Okay. So the discharge pipe is oriented to the back of the motor here, just like this. And we got a register on the motor here that this housing will mount up to. And it is a pretty tight fit. I want to make sure that I get a couple of the holes lined up before I bump it on there. Okay, there we go. Let's bring it on this side here so you can see it. And I forgot my wrench again. It's easy. We just got to torque those up a little bit, and let me get those tightened up, and then we'll come back and install the seal and the impeller. Okay, time for the seal and putting the impeller on. There's the new seal. So we're going to go ahead and slide it on. Okay, I got it this time. I just took a socket and was able to equally push on that thing and get it up on there. So we're ready to go now. Actually need one slightly bigger than that. Okay. That should be up against it. Put the Woodger key back in. Install the spring. And the impeller. There we go. Start straight. There we go. Alright, there we have it. Now, five-eighths. Right. Okay, there we go. Impeller's installed. Last bit. I guess we'll just go ahead and get to it. There's the cover plate here. I didn't think to time it, but I don't think it matters. It's all the same. So go ahead and wait a second. Yep, there is a mark on there. Okay, I just seen it. There's a little groove there, and there's a groove over here on this side. Okay guys, we've got the pump put back together. I did have an issue with a couple of the bolt holes, and what I had found was that the first couple threads in the housing here had been, I don't know, either stripped out or corroded, and I didn't catch that before. And that's why there's two bolts on here somewhere. There's one and there's another one at the bottom that was actually a little bit longer, so it would go all the way through the housing and catch the good threads back there. So I had to get those two in the right spot. So pump's ready to go. The last thing I'm going to do, and I'm not going to show this, is I'm just going to tape up the nameplate here and the brass on the ends, and I'm just going to go ahead and give it another good coat of paint, make it look fresh and rebuilt, and then we'll hook it back up. I want to get under the lathe and clean that mounting bracket up down there where the motor sits on and get it cleaned off, and hopefully get me some new hose in here and get the new hose on hooked up, and we'll have a coolant system going again on the Monarch. So I think that's going to be about it for this part. I'll bring you back whenever we go to install this back on the machine and hook the hoses up, and maybe even give it a test run. So we will see you later.